I should listen to Dr. Sebi. Same time I'm switching him off the telly. I'm nice, sugar and spice written across the belly. I'm picking my vice, chicken shop and bevies. A lot have left me, like forgotten memories. I tried to save a few at the cost of many. You died, that's as big a shock as any. Suddenly the burden that I'm lifting's not as heavy. I was playing victim, like woe is me and woe am I. I need to slow my mind, or sleep with open eyes. Today I was fine, I weaken overnight, flipping oversight. But I need rest so my coping mechanism coincides. But that's the lesser evil if you know my life. The greater evil is to let my soul decline. Don't make a sequel when I know it's time, it's time, it's time. So weigh the good, the bad that I did. If you're glad I was around, I'm glad that I did. Weigh the good, the bad that I did. If you're glad I was around, I'm glad that I did. Weigh the good, the bad that I did. If you're glad
pedalare, ma scendi giù con noi, tu scendi per ballare. Nella giungla puoi vedere cosa c'è da scoprire, non c'è chiave per aprire nessuna porta, perché porte qua non ce n'è, tutto fai da te, allora fai da te, ma non voglio faide con te, voglio stare bene, ma so che va così, la vita un po' così, va tutto un po' così, ma sono pronto adesso, io voglio fare sesso, se posso mi permetto, te lo metto nel cassetto e poi ci pensi, ma se ci pensi in tutti i sensi, facciamolo con tutti i quattro i sensi, toccami, guardami, io sono qui e assaggiami se vuoi, respirami, sparami sul petto, io getto via la paranoia, parte la sparatoria, bang bang, tu m'hai colpito, ora t'ho sentito dentro me, brucia dentro me, ed ora voglio risalire, stai a sentire cosa voglio dire, se vuoi appassire puoi non salire, la salita è molto stile, giochi di stile, con le mani che si muovono sul vinile, lo fanno girare, come un breaker sulla testa può roteare, l'MC con le rime può parlare e dire cosa c'è che non va.
Yo, let the rhythm hit her, swim to the break up, bring to the feeder like John's in Jamaica, Rastafari, I bring light to the maker, swim low chariot, let's get paper, right? I don't even know like sometimes, never kicked up mine, punch time, come on, no, never that, you don't go show, I bet I can kick better raps, let's better blaps, y'all call blappers, I rock fitted caps, you call me a mad hatter, but oh no, while it's some wonderland, on some running man, so the same culture man, what? Yeah, pretend the poppers are blind, I'll let y'all pick any artist you want, get us 2 times, no, like a be legit, when I'm that plus one, bitch, call the click.
I keep my shook crews running. I got you stuck off the realness.
So I crawled out late December for 87, told the rev to challenge anybody. Can be honest, that's with this thing called love, cause love's a powerful thing. Duke Ellington was right, cause it don't mean a thing if you ain't got the swing. It ain't off to me, cause I believe that too. Don't be you, that's what they preach at they school. Rocky 3, clever lane, pity the fool. Do what you do, if you cool, then be cool. Me, I'm frozen, hot's cool too, it's just cool in the oven. Oops, I mean oven, fuck the republic. Go fight over there on some dumb shit. That is not logic, that is all profit. And all of that profit's coming out of our pockets. Y'all started it, now it's time for you to stop it, or I'll bring the pain on some rough tank with this bomb shit.
I wear the aura of a king. I'm the type to sit back and analyze the prize. I'm not the average mesmerizing.
Low, full low, oh bro, for sure though. Domino effect, I got one, I need one more. Guess so, I don't know, I'm broke. Once I get signed, I'll be like, oh yo, that one's my folks. I'll be crispy, shiny like he is shining them. You be like Manny Fresh, like Lady Big Time in them. Then I'll cross some power gems, stars pull around with them. Once a kid's gonna spend a whole night minding them. Then I'll throw away the resume to set the record straight. Instead of the bars, man, your boy was off the section 8. Any fake mouse, son, I think like Stan Swifton. Walk backwards so the streets can't front or hop. Suddenly, I be loving the monotony. As long as I'm large with a big bar on top of me. Not the prophecy, see, I'm making prophecy. Hip hop used to be chess, but now it's a monopoly.
Give me the mic so I can take it away. My flow is like
What? Bam! Let me bar for more time. Give you a feel of what the groove like.
The Blackbirds 125th Street and check the flow that's unique for lounging, mellow out and just lounging, mellow out and just lounging. Can't refuse this, never lose this. It's a choice, this, cause my voice is the smoothest. Dominating to your boys, cause I've been around doing work, and so have tons of other jerk. Dollar Bird word on the track, quite exact, giving you the format, Jack. See, we gotta pave the way and display how to lounging, just lounging, mellow out and just lounging, 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 mellow out and just lounging, lounging.
Today it outsells classical music.
Peace to the pioneers, but I gotta try and clear my throat. Check out what I wrote. You can't tap into this unless you know the roots. Word shoot, like life absolute for real. So now you got to know the deal for lounging, lounging, just lounging, mellow out and just lounging, 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 mellow out. Check it out and lounging, lounging. Lounging, lounging, mellow out, and just lounging, lounging, lounging. East to Brooklyn where I live, Realistic, kind of mystic when I kick this. You should witness the slickness of the horn player and the dope rhyme sayer. Quite emotional and inspirational, philosophical and yes, very logical. Teaching you the method for lounging, lounging. Everybody knows they have times when they want to just lay back, kick their feet up, you know, listen to some good music, and just lounge. That's right. I said lounge, I said lounge.
Of a master plan. Cause ain't nothing but sweat inside my hands. So I dig into my pocket, all my money spent. So I get deeper, but still coming up with lint. So I start my mission, leave my residence, thinking how could I get some dead presidents. I need money. I used to be a stick-up kid, so I think of all the devious things I did. I used to roll up, this is a hole up. Ain't nothing funny, stop smiling. We still don't nothing move but the money. But now I learn to earn cause I'm righteous. I feel great, so maybe I might just search for a 9 to 5. If I strive, then maybe I'll stay alive. So I walk up the street, whistling this, feeling out of place, cause man do I miss a pen and a paper, a stereo, a taper. Me and Eric being a nice big plate of fish, which is my favorite dish. But without no money, it's still a wish. Cause I don't like to dream about getting paid. So I dig into the books of the rhymes that I made. So now it's a test to see if I got pulled. Hit the studio, cause I'm paid in full.
Akim, check this out. Yo, you go to your girl house and I go to mine. Cause my girl is definitely mad cause it took us too long to do this album.
Yo, I hear what you're saying. So let's just pump the music up and count our money.
Yo, but check this out. Yo, Eli, turn the bass down and just let the beat keep on rocking.
And we outta here.
Yo, what happened to peace?
Peace, 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 peace.
sound. Something in the way of things, something that will quit and won't start, something you know but can't stand, can't know, get along with, like death, riding on top of the car, peering through the windshield for its cue. Something entirely fictitious and true that creeps across your path, hallowing your evil ways, like they were yourself, passing yourself, not smiling. The dead guy you saw me talking to is your boss. I tried to put a spell on him, but his spirit is illiterate. I know things you know and nothing you don't know, except I saw something in the way of things, something grinning at me, and I wanted to know, was it funny? Was it so funny? It followed me down the street, greeting everybody like the good humor man, and they got to taste of good humor with no ice cream. It was like that. Me talking across people into the houses and not seeing the beings crowding around me with ice picks. You could see them, but they looked like important Negroes on the way to your funeral. They looked like important jigaboos on the way to your auction. They let them chant the numbers and use an ivory pointer to count your teeth. Remember stepping fetch it? Remember stepping fetch it, how we laughed, knowing it was Sunday school images giving flesh and jiggling with the ice pick high over his head. Made you laugh anyway. I can see something in the way of ourselves. I can see something in the way of ourselves. That's why I say the things I do. You know it, but it's something else to you. Like that job. This morning, when you got there, it was quiet, and the machines were yearning soft behind you, yearning for that nigga to come and give up his life. Standing there being dissed and broke and troubled. My mistake is I kept saying, that was proof God didn't exist. And you told me, nah, it was proof that the devil do. But still, it's like I see something, I hear things. I saw words in the white boy's lying rag, said you was gonna die poor and frustrated, that them dreams walk with you across town, you're gonna die from overwork. That the garbage on the street is telling you you ain't shit, and you almost believe it. Broke and mistaken all the time, you know some of the words, but they ain't the right ones. Your cable back on, but ain't nothing you can see. But I see something in the way of things, something make us stumble. Something get us drunk from noise and addicted to sadness. I see something and feel something stalking us like an ugly thing floating at our back, calling us names. You see it and hear it too. But you say it got a right to exist just like you. And if God made it, but then we got to argue. And the light gonna come down around us, even though we remember where the bank is. Remember the Negro squinting at us through the cage. You see what I see too? Smile that ain't a smile, but teeth flying against our necks. You see something too, but can't call its name. Ain't it too bad y'all said? Ain't it too bad, such a nice boy, always kind to his mother, always say good morning to everybody on his way to work. But that last time, before he got locked up and hurt, real bad, I seen him walking toward his house and he wasn't smiling and he didn't even say hello. But I knew he'd seen something in the way of things, and it worked on him like it do and will, and he kept marching faster and faster away from us and never even muttered a word. Then the next day he was gone. You wanna know what? You wanna know what I'm talking about, saying I seen something in the way of things. And how the boy's face looked that day just before they took him away. There is in that face, and remember now, remember all them other faces. In all the many places you've seen him, or the sister with his child wandering up the street. Remember what you've seen in your own mirror and didn't for a second recognize the face, your own face, straining to get out from behind the glass. Open your mouth like you was gonna say something. Close your eyes and remember what you saw and what it made you feel like. Now, don't you see something else? Something cold and ugly. Not invisible, but blended with the shadow crisscrossing the old man squatting by the drugstore at the corner with his head resting uneasily on his folded arms, and the boy that smiled, and the girl he went with. And in my eyes too, a waving craziness splitting them into the jet stream of a blackbird, his ass on fire. Or the solemn notness of where we go to know we're gonna be happy. I seen something. I seen something. And you seen it too. You seen it too. You just can't call its name.
Of a sore heart, crying out in pain. Do you even care? Wondering if this silent whisper is nothing more than a figment of my imagination. Something I created in my waking hours to hold me, caress me, and take away the pain. Pain that was inflicted by the many. Pain that was born through heartbreak and heartache. Are you my savior? Did you come to rescue me? Did you come to release me from these shackles? Or is this a test? What else do you want? To see my limits or how far I'd go to live
to be with you.
And if I allow you to advance, would you?
What would that mean?
Could you not seize the chance?
Would you take advantage of me?
If you weren't sincere? So clear you painted pictures of you and I across the sky of life, traveling through a ghetto paradise,
just you and I,
hand in hand, heart to heart,
holding me closely,
caressing my thoughts and inner fantasies, taking me to a place I'd never dreamed of.
Our own
all
paradise.
The emotions flourishing within my soul, mind, body, and soul. So cold the world seemed, forgiving me all that was meaningless first. I'd suffered 1,000 times before seeing the sunshine. The sunshine. I placed my heart in a pool of love, hoping that it wasn't shallow, allowing it to flourish deep within an unscathed abyss. Our first kiss sealed our pact of love, forever and ever. Him and I together, lost in love.
Thank you.